Men and women have different types of sexual desire, and this can sometimes be confusing. Men don't understand why their wife doesn't pursue them in the same way that he pursues her. And women, they often feel guilty for not being more proactive in the sex department. Today, I'm going to share a couple secrets with you that will help you better interpret the sexual desire cues of both yourself and your spouse. Hi, I'm Kelly Case, licensed counselor and marriage expert. I take marriages that are broken and unfulfilling and I make them first class so you can love life together. This channel is for you if you want a happier home, but you just don't know how to get it. Be sure to click that subscribe button so that you'll be notified whenever I upload anything new. Although every relationship is different, if I surveyed a room full of married couples and I asked who initiates sex more, the husband or the wife, I'm sure to get more husband responses than wife responses. Because in general, the husband is more likely to pursue his wife for sex than the wife is to pursue her husband. Why is this? And once you're in the bedroom, who's the most proactive? Who is more likely to make the moves? Who has the most ideas for what to do next? Who leads? Typically the husband. Why is this? Have you ever wondered about these things? Men, have you ever felt frustrated by this? Women, have you ever felt guilty about this? Men tell me, I don't understand why my wife doesn't pursue me sexually like I pursue her. It would really make me feel wanted. Women tell me, I feel guilty because I'm just not driven to be more proactive in the bedroom. I almost feel like I just kind of lay there for the first 15 minutes and do nothing. There are two reasons for what we're talking about. I'm going to share these secrets with you today. The first secret is one you've likely heard before. The second one is probably new to you. Bear with me as I share the first secret because I might be putting a little different spin on it than what you've heard before. First, it's important to understand that there are 4 phases to sex: excitement, plateau, orgasm, and resolution. Excitement is exactly what it sounds like. Plateau is the building of arousal. So plateau is actually a really dumb name. It's not really like a plateau at all. It's more like a mountain. And orgasm is orgasm. Resolution is from orgasm back to normal, how you started before you got excited. The woman's excitement and plateau phases can take a long time to go through, whereas a man can have an excitement phase that lasts about 2 seconds and a plateau phase that is rather fast. This means that when the husband is horny, he's horny. He's either erect or he's not. We call them microwaves. They can cook really fast. Women, however, have a very slow build sometimes. We call them crockpots. So for a wife to pursue her husband in the same way that he pursues her, she would have to already have gone through the excitement phase and be entering the plateau stage, which is where her husband often is when he comes to her to initiate sex. Men can reach that place easily. Women need some help. Does this mean that the wife is never horny and never initiates? Of course not. Sometimes she is and sometimes she does. But it might look a little different, and I'll tell you about that when I share the second secret. The important thing to understand here is that the wife is less likely, although it does happen, to come to the husband all revved up and ready to go. This is why she is less likely to initiate or pursue in the same way. Okay, so secret number 2 is that men and women have different types of desire. Men have what's called assertive desire, and women have what's called receptive desire. Let's think about the male and female body parts, or if that's too much for you to handle, let's think about hardware, literal hardware, tools, whatever. The male end protrudes, the female end caves in. You with me? Anatomy 101 here. The male end enters, the female end receives. Their desire matches their anatomy. The male desire is to do something, to pursue, to act upon, to assert, to enter. It's assertive desire. The female desire is to receive something, to open up, to allow, to embrace. Male desire leads them to pursue and initiate a sexual experience. Women tend to have a receptive desire, meaning that their desire leads them to openly and willingly receive a sexual experience, but not necessarily always initiate it. So when a man feels desire, he is motivated to physically act upon it by seeking out and pursuing his wife. He wants to enter something, so he might initiate a lot of what is taking place during the sexual act. Whereas when a woman feels desire, she is motivated to open up and receive his sexual advances. Her desire doesn't necessarily lead her to initiate and pursue. Rather, it leads her to become open and receptive to his advances. Women sometimes experience guilt for what they feel like is just lying there and not initiating. This is actually normal. This doesn't mean women can't or won't initiate, but often the reason they're initiating is because they're asking the man to assert himself and enjoy her body, not because they want to devour his body. Desire for a woman just means she's willing to have sex. She's willing to be enjoyed. She's open to the idea of getting aroused. But it's not always something that she desires enough to actually go out and pursue it. Of course, there are always exceptions, and there are many factors that play into this. So I'm not saying that women never behave differently than what I've described here. But I'm sure that you can find more examples of what I've shared here today than you can of the exceptions. So now you understand why. My hope for you is that you will each embrace the way that you were created and the type of desire that you have, and that you'll learn to let your differences complement one another rather than using them as something that makes you frustrated and causes you to argue with one another. To learn more about how to have a great sex life, visit me at firstclassmarriage.com. And if you like this video, hit like, leave me a comment, or subscribe to my channel so that more people can see this valuable content.